No, not a moving company. Yes, they are an esports team. And they're here to see if they can try and make it in European qualifiers. Aurora, though, I think for me, after echoing your sentiment of watching them play yesterday, I think for me this is kind of crunch time for them to figure their stuff out. Really try and make sure that things are looking nice and clean going into these last couple of days of the closed qualifier.
Yeah, it kind of helps as well when you get to play Aurora in like the early phase of the tournament, because they are seed 1. If you are one move, let's say they are to lose the series, right? They're going to go into the lower bracket, playing against the best team. If they turn this like learning lesson, this moment where maybe they haven't scrimmed them, right? This is like the start of a make your run. So that's the beauty of double elim. You can never really count out a team. It's more on the team to show their maturity and ability to learn no matter what, win or loss.
Yeah. All right. It's not about losing; it's about learning for a lot of these teams, well, especially playing up against.
At some point, it's about winning. But for now, we can be PMA.
I'm trying to be positive here, T. All right. I'm trying to bring something. All right.
The smokes in the early game, it's always the same thing, so I don't mind going on a tangent. I hate the phrase "trust the process." That's the biggest excuse I hear from any team. It's like they lose a tournament, it's like, trust the process. Like, brother, it's your 7th qualifier. Mate, the process was out the window in qualifier number 2. Come on, get good.
Yeah,
that's unrelated.
That's a big thing in sports. My current my sports team that I've barracked for since I was like a very small child, that is definitely a phrase that our current coach, who should be out the door, is using, is saying, trust the process, guys. No, fix it. It's been 5 years in a row, okay? The process is over.
Yeah, exactly. The process is allowed to live. I respect it, of course, but at some point, you got to chill out. But anyway, we've started the game. We expect to see aggression, of course, in pretty much all lanes. I feel like Tusk, Darkseid always has kill potential. Ursa and Naga Siren, if you step up in the wrong place, you are going to get chased down the lane. So the side lanes are to hopefully be where the action's at.
Yeah, a whole lot more aggression than what we've seen over some of the series that Jen and I have had. It's been relatively slow starts for us, so I'm hoping to see if we get a little bit more of this kill threat going. And I think, kind of circling back to what I was saying, to feeling like it's crunch time for Aurora to kind of tighten things up. I feel like if they become the aggressors and really just kind of put the pedal to the metal, that kind of shakes out any of the nerves that they potentially could have had from yesterday. We'll see how these first couple of minutes are going to pan out.
Aurora. Oh, whoopsie. My bad. This synergy's real good for our first ever cast.
That's how it works, mate.
Yeah. No, it's fine. I can feel it. I feel that little elbow in the side. It's like, hey, mate, I was talking about Aurora. That's all right. I got you.
Got him. All right, so it's a good start already here for difference on this Necro. He started out nice and well here in this middle lane. 10-1 up against the 8-1 now of Kiyotaka. BB3 and Miro. I'll throw hands a little bit.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if either of them were to die at level 1. I think, of course, at level 2, when Tusk gets the shards, you can already Gilga having to TP on top lane with the Shadow Realm. He has a salve available. It's not as if he's going to starve, he's just going to return to the game very quickly.
It shouldn't be too bad for a lot of these side lanes. I guess the question is, at what point do you feel comfortable leaving Toronto Tokyo down here if you're Mira up against the Nature's Prophet and the Terrorblade to try and alleviate a bit of the pressure in that mid lane, try and get the Death Prophet off to a good start?
It's always going to be the race to Vanguard with that one. As soon as the Darkseid picks up the item, he can then play behind the tower. Even if he is to die, it's going to be multiple heroes rotating in on him, eating up some of those valuable teleports in the early game. Yeah, as soon as the Darkseid gets to that item, we expect to see Mira on the Tusk be very, very active. Interesting enough, actually, one move the top lane, it's just always been in front of their tower for now. They've finally had access to the portal hatch. It spawns at 3 minutes. So yeah, it's Headhunter relishing the fact that Ursa has none of the lane to actually chase him down to build up the Fury swipes on.
Yeah, you can see they're at least trying to attempt to go on Cross. They're going to try again here as well. The Gush is going to come forward. TP up on the top lane from BB3. Nightfall though, getting very, very low here on the Ursa. Doesn't get the clicks on to Corrupted, and now it's going to be Panther who's going to get chased down here by BB3 as well. The Blood Grenade, and finally the Gush gets another kill for Corrupted.
Yeah, I mean, lane position was massive advantage to one move, and for Aurora, they had access to the support camp. They didn't go for it. They opted to go for a bit of a fight, and that fight just didn't work out. Nature's Prophet, the reason why we see it in what feels like every other game, again, probably statistically that's incorrect, but doesn't matter, we're casting, don't fact check me, is because of that global presence early on. Especially with a Sprout being leveled, you always have impact any lane you go to. It's not like you're throwing down some treant and awkwardly trying to click them. It's just explosive damage and
yeah, and I feel like it has had such an emphasis in a lot of these Toronto Tokyo. Oh, the shards just bought enough time for Toronto Tokyo to be able to get away from the Terrorblade.
It's good damage. That damage, he's yet to get Vanguard, right? So this is the window where you can apply the pressure. Keep going. They're poking each other mid.
Into everything that he wants to. They did almost run down eyesight, but with BB3 being able to make the rotation back towards the bottom side meant that Mira and Toronto Tokyo couldn't get that connection. And Mira now trying to win the fight here against BB3 with the reflection as well. Needs a few more clicks with the tag team, and it's just not going to work out. So eyesight gets a kill on this bottom side as well, and Aurora starting 0-3. Not a good start for them.
No, they're often the team that we praise for being like the lane winners, the aggression of Mira and Nightfall. I could list all 5 players to be honest, but like they are so good at their laning prowess. To see them down on CS, down on kills already, it's a very good sign for one move.
I have seen this tale before though.
Okay.
A lot of these closed qualifiers is you start hot and sometimes you make a few decisions.
It happens. We are talking about a consistent top 8 finishing team on the side of Aurora versus they live within the qualifier one move, right? It's a night and day difference in regards to the season's results.
Let's see if they can continue this hot start or if there will be some issues in the mid game here. Been seeing a really good start to this laning phase, especially now as they're going towards nightfall. Curse Crown goes down with Ursa, but we've run out of lane.
Yeah, missed the route, so that was a bit of a struggle. But again, critically, Nightfall is feeling the pressure. Often when Aurora is doing well, it's the fact that he is left by himself and free farming to then enable supports to make moves on the map. The fact that at 6 minutes, Panto's dragging a creep wave, trying to do something to get scythed as well, sent back to base, is like a bit of a disaster.
Yeah, it's obviously not the start that they'd wanted here for Aurora, but it just feels like it's kind of compacting in and of itself. You know, they're trying to overplay their hand to try and claw back this early lead. You know, as you said, Panto just being able to kind of pull this awkward creep wave, trying to give Nightfall any semblance of bit of freedom in that top lane. And it's really just starting to work into the hands of one move. So Toronto Tokyo finally has that Vanguard finished up now on the Darkseer. So
instantly behind the tower.
Mira to make those rotations.
Like
Taka is here as well, trying to use that first use of the exorcism.
They don't defend towers too well on one move, unless they have access to the Scythe, the Ravage, like some earlier the spells. Because of course with Scythe, Death Prophet early on, you're not super tanky. Prophet did try to go for this.
Thought that was potentially going to be a neutral deny there, but Mira holding on to the snowball. Did the right damage. But I agree with you, right? Like, they don't really have good heroes at defending towers until, you know, it kind of gets to the point where the Tidehunter and the Necro are at least strong enough to stand in front. Dangle for a little bit.
But once you have Ravage, it's like you can tank it. Of course, we're talking in the lens of because of Exorcism. Like, if you change the mid laner to another hero, then Tide and Necro, even without ult, will be so strong at the tower. This is just putting a lot of respect towards why Death Prophet is getting played more. Is when you go to an objective, you often own it, right? Nightfall again shows himself in the top lane. For Gilga, he is not hitting his brambles at the moment, but it doesn't matter. They do have a Ravage.
They at least make the trade in the middle lane.
Oh,
make a difference here on the Necro with the exorcism. So he's gonna take this mid tier 1 as well as getting the kill on the mid laner. He's, I guess, the one positive of Nightfall going down and then using the Ravage. That's it. this tier 1 tower here. And Panto's walked in, been able to live just a little bit there with the wand, but eventually does go down. They want to see if they can try and take down Corrupted though. Nightfall with TP back in as well, and look for the respite back. Grip though is the one that gets stuck inside of these ice shards here from Mira. So without the Shadow Realm, I'd imagine Grip is going to be the next one. Ooh, that's a nice little use of the GG branch, but it's not going to be enough for Nightfall. He's able to get another kill.
I actually just feel so wrong. You calling him Grip. I know that's what he's tagged up as, but he's Gilga. You know, I used to coach him on Hellburst smashes with, you know, Misery, Stormstormer, Ace
Matt was saying the
like,
exact same thing to me. He's like, he's not Grip, he's Gilga. He's
Gilga, yeah, exactly.
And I'm just reading off the screen, guys.
I get that. I get that. I'm just looking at him. Of course, actually, technically.
My boy, look how they butchered my boy.
Yeah, exactly. I also butchered the players in the team, but it's fine. I meant the listing. Oh, that sounded terrible out of context. Anyway, moving on. Segue, please. Oh, play-by-play. Take us to a new conversation. Thank you very much.
All right, let's start talking about your favorite foods now. We'll keep talking about this this mid-tier one because...
Oh, I was right. Phew, we're in the clear. All right. No, I panicked.
Sometimes you just freak out. At least you didn't say he was chicken fingering the illusions. That's what said today.
Oh, yeah. Wonderful. Well,
yeah,
again,
so...
at least he said chicken. That's normalizes it a little bit. That keeps it within the vein of Dota.
But again, Dota out of context. But definitely could want to watch this somewhere.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, Darker. Looking at mid. Taking no extra for 17 seconds. And with the scythe, you don't want to put yourself into any vulnerable state of HP.
Fight towards the top side. Mira does cop a Shadow Urn, and now with Difference walking forward, does have the recent side. Not within kill range just yet. Mira goes for the punch up in the air and try and dodge a bit more of this damage, but they eventually get it done, and another stack for the Necro.
Yeah, it's good to get the early stacks, right? Because especially as the game progresses, when Mira picks up a Blink Dagger, the likelihood of Scythe connecting on the kill is going to dwindle, especially when Mira hits the snowball saves, right? You just snowball, boom, Scythe does no damage, thank you very much, you wasted your ultimate. It's something to keep note of. In the early game, a lot easier to use this. As it progresses, you need to respect the positioning of the Tusk.
100% can become a bit of a problem for them. We've got 2 stacks so far, so 2 uses, 2 stacks feels quite nice. We're going to go in towards the back part of this tier 1. They pop the Exorcism for it, but Toronto Tokyo not connecting there on the vacuum. It means that they just have to walk in towards these big old stacks up in the triangle. Try and pressure this tier 1 tower as well.
A little bit of both.
Stacks, so I want to try and get the kill here on Corrupted.
Like 0.1 second, very, very close. Taking all the early towers, right? Bottom towers taken quite early on, mid falls, and bringing the creep wave into the top. They want to try and progress the map. They are punishing the fact that Tide, Terrorblade, and Necrophos all have very, very greedy cores, right? Like, a Tide wants a pipe, a Terrorblade wants a Manta +1, a Necrophos wants... He's got Boots of Travel, he's looking at Radiance, right? It's not as if there's any cheap items coming into play there. With a Ravage as well. I think 1 for 7 seconds.
They can take him down, that's a big scalp to take. Now with Kiyotaka, does have another Soul Siphon to be able to take down.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, no. It's the Scythe that gets the 3rd stack, and Difference claims another on Kiyotaka.
I panicked for a second. I looked at him, it was like, he used the spell, lost mana, he had 1, but he didn't use it for a second. We're like, alright, brother, are we going to press this or what? And then, poof. Right. We're in the clear. He used the Scythe, DP goes down, 2 big core kills, and yeah, 1 move just ensuring that they keep themselves present in the game, right? Even though Aurora are the ones making all the moves, taking the early towers, 1 move was like, alright, sure. You might be taking our objectives, but we'll farm, we'll get the odd kill here and there, but we're not going to like buckle under the pressure. We're not going to overreact to try and defend every tower there. They seem to be conceding the map quite nicely to ensure that they take a good move soon after. And there it is.
Yeah, I think that's...
commendable Dota at the moment.
Yeah, step in the right direction for 1 move, right? Obviously, they're in the upper bracket for a reason. They were able to win their first series here coming into this closed qualifier. But now they're going up against the big dogs, and if they want to have the chance of getting towards the international, they need to take down some big scalps. So starting to move around the map now is Difference, trying to see if he can put a little bit more pressure back onto Nightfall. There's quite a lot of stacks here for the side of Aurora as well that have been found out for 4 years. Been able to find out Panto here. Going to see if he can try and win the fight of the support duos. Kiyotaka's made their way over as well. going into the Shadow Realm with the Dark Willow. And it's just a disengage for now.
Well, it can't really kill the Naga Siren, just because Mirror Image soaks up all of the Bedlam damage.
Trying to take this big stack. At least Kiyotaka gets some of them, but able to remove quite a lot of that is a good start here for one move to just be able to kind of slow down Nightfall much more than it already has been.
Yes, Battle Fury. It's 14 minutes. And he's ready. Like, the fact that he had 2 deaths in lane, he had immense pressure, constant ganks, the 3 tier 1 towers falling, and the fact that he didn't continue dying after the laning pressure. He's going to be pretty happy. 6,400 net worth. Very quickly will now overtake the Necrophos and be able to contest the complete free farm Terrorblade.
Yeah, we have the Battle Fury online already here for Nightfall. It's going to enable him, especially if there's going to be a lot more of this emphasis put on the other sides of the map. You can just see that Kiyotaka and the gang are really going to try and pull up and put the other side. Nightfall, though, is getting stuck in some trees. We'll have to cut away from that. Gets the third coming in from Toronto Tokyo. They're going to turn back around with the Ravage here. Does not have the Enrage, has to chop through another tree, but with that Spirit Vessel as well as the Reflection now, Nightfall is most likely going to lose his life. They eventually get it done there thanks to the Gush. Another Reaper side takes down Toronto Tokyo. BB3, he's going to lose his life on the side thanks to Mira. But again, there's just so many members from one move that are here and ready to take the tower and take the lives of the Aurora members.
Nightfall was doing. Not going to try and analyze it too much. I think everyone in Twitch chat also sees it. He picked up a Battle Fury. His game was a bit rough, and he opted to instantly, with Battle Fury, go, you know what? I'm going to call my Darkseer top and try and run down a Tide Hunter. It's okay, but normally you need to have like some type of advantage, right? When the lane goes even, there's always going to be kiting, especially because great positioning from the Nature's Prophet, also holding his own top, which kind of put this just a bit more distance between Nightfall and the Ursa, and the Tide Hunter, sorry. But yeah, to commit so quickly onto a hero that in an even game isn't the easiest to kill, even though you are an Ursa. Giving one move even greater entry to this game, and yeah, good reaction as well. Willow, Terrorblade also turning up to help get the kind of the killing blow on the hero.
Potentially just getting a false sense of security with the fact that they had that tier 1 tower down, right? Just being like, okay, well, and they can't have those TP rotations, but with Corrupted sitting in the tree line, that it was going to be all too hard for Aurora to go. So Curse Crown now on Toronto Tokyo. Gilby is going to see if he can do anything. Okay. Exorcism is popped here, trying to catch up to Difference, but he just walks out and says, see you later to Kiyotaka. Okay.
Some scary
Axe is available now for the DP though, so big increase to her damage.
Yep. The Axe is just nice with the fact that you don't always, like, yes, you can use Exo, but having the spirits also get applied to your spells, it feels nice. You can skirmish without relying on the ultimate. But critically, the items from one move, they're coming out in full force. You've got a Radiance about to be complete on the Necrophos. Of course, you've had the Vessel for some time on Prophet. Manta is complete on Terrorblade. Yours is complete on Willow. Pipe is complete on Titan. Like, every hero on one move is like entertaining the idea of, hey, you want to go smoke? You want to go kill them? Compare that to Aurora. Just isn't really that kind of sync of itemization at the moment. Like, the Ursa might get a Blink Dagger. You just mentioned the Death of having Aghanims, but everyone else is still hoping to get towards their next item. So we'll see if one move can find a fight here to capitalize on the fact that all 5 of their heroes are ready to go in instantly into Roshan. Okay, using the Gush, negative armor on the Roshan with the meta. They do not want to allow Ursa and the Tusk, great Roshan taken, to get into the pit first. So yeah, nice little read.
Yeah. Being able to utilize a lot of the sustain that they have as well as the team as Nature's Prophet. So nice little early roach here, 17 about 18 minutes now. Be able to get that. Imagine it's going to go on eyesight, so he will be able to be their sieger for the next 5 minutes. See what kind of map pressure they're going to be able to pick out here. And this has been kind of one of the things that I've been seeing throughout these closed qualifiers is the difference between some of these teams is really just kind of identifying when you have that item timing and really being able to abuse it, especially in comparison to teams that just haven't hit theirs just yet. We'll see if one move can really start to abuse that. They've done a good job so far by taking Roche. Just now being able to put that back in the map pressure.
Nice little tip there from Mirror. He respects the fact that the Terrorblade was trying to get the Centaur stop on the TP. Always cool when you try to play with the jungle there. Didn't work out this time, but he tried.
Real respect, real. Okay, front of Tokyo. Found out there's pipe of his own, and now with the Reaper's Scythe on top. Oh, they don't get the stack, but they get the kill. So just as good. And Difference will continue to keep this early game rolling for the Necro first, getting very, very close to that Aghanim Shard as well.
He's kind of owning. Doesn't really care, just running through the map. And is he ever really going to die? I think until Nullifier comes out on Ursa, Necrophos is close to unkillable. Of course, there is the option of finding him by himself, 5 heroes killing him, sure, but in the team fight, it is unlikely. It's corrupted, throws his body in the front of all of Aurora, and Kitaka blinks in.
Double blink comes out from both of these members of Aurora, so they're doing a lot of damage here to Corrupted. Kiyotaka wants to continue this fight, wants to keep going and pressing his advantage that he has so far on the Death Prophet. TP coming out here from Difference. They will be able to get away. Gilgear, Mira, 1 second on the slope.
Oh, so close.
Very close.
Cooldown was what's stopping him there, but yeah. Some discipline getting showed though from one move. Often I think some teams in that position, they'd see their Titan getting pressure. It's like, you know what, they're clumped up. There is a Ravage opportunity, but they opt to just full disengage, let him die, they run away. And we'll see if they can now turn this into something. You have one team with a big ultimate on cooldown, the other team having Ravages available. Of course, Mira does get the shards, or the shard for his shards from the Tormentor. But because of his skill build, going for Max and Snowball to play on the tempo of the game, the saves required, how critical it is, he doesn't have the Max shards to really utilize it, but that's fine. Max Snowball is very, very good this game.
Yeah, good work. Not nice to get it on Panto, but here's what it is. Tormentor give us, Tormentor take it away.
Using the meta actually, just straight away for mid tower. Sure, they did try to kill off the Ursa, but it's an entire game built around timings, right? Is Wall available? Is Exorcism available? That's the side of Aurora, and then maybe even Song, right? So that's 3 big spells. And then for one move, it's like, do you have a Scythe? Do you have Meta? Do you have Ravage? It is really a battle of wits and where they want to take the fight, how they want to take it. If you waste your spell, the other team's going to have so many available.
And I think also trying to get as much out of each one of those spell usages, as you just said as well, right? You know, if you misuse it, then there's just such a big opportunity for either team to be able to take back the map. So we'll see if they're able to utilize it here for one move. They're doing a good job at pressuring this tier 2 tower, trying to close off a bit more of the map here for Nightfall, who is building towards his next couple of items. That Blink Dagger already built up here for the Ursa. So only really one lane left to go here for one move. They want to try and head towards that dire off lane, so they can start knocking on the front door. I'd imagine would be the next Aegis, with only 1:50 left on this one.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, it's take the tier 2, reset, take bomb tower, and you kind of want the game to breathe for a little bit. You don't want to kind of create this tempo that's too quick for you, because at any minute, if you play too quickly, you start running around the map without respecting your vision, not dewarding correctly, etc., then you are going to fall victim to the fight. And we mentioned it during the draft, right? They have the Naga Siren in the Dark Sim. At any minute, if you're out of position, that's going to be a Song into a 3-4-man vacuum into a wall. Heroes will get deleted. So in the back of one move's mind, they need to make sure that if they ever do feel like they are the aggressor of the game, they still need good positioning. The comeback potential in Aurora is very, very strong.
Yeah, a lot of teamfight potential coming in from Aurora. With a lot of good execution. We're going to try and go on Nightfall again on the bottom side. Gilgear will just throw out the Bramble Maze. And as soon as Nightfall notices Titan is there, he's going to dip. They're looking to see if they can try and get a kill here. They do. They get it on different. So big little spike there for the side of Aurora. Didn't use the exorcism for that as well. So nice little pick off there for Aurora, keeping themselves in it.
Yeah, massive kill. Because the Necrophos doesn't have any form of dispel, the Death Prophet, if you ever get the silence pre-Ghost Shroud, you're going to be dying. The positioning of Necrophos needs to be a little bit more defensive. Right? He can't farm out all by himself. There is this like bait of the Nightfall. It's like, oh, you see him, oh, let's go kill him, right? But you need to just make sure we're on the same page. Respect Aurora, they are a very, very good team if they see a window of opportunity. Even though their early game has been very underwhelming, they aren't going to allow that to affect their their mid-game execution.
Especially for them as well. Not making this a 2-0 will be a failure of today.
I'll be honest, boss. I do want to see Aurora in the lower bracket. Let's be real. All right, like they're meant to qualify. I fully expect them to qualify, but it would be hilarious for them to go like have one bad day and then go, you know what? We cannot mess around anymore and just obliterate everyone through the lower bracket, right? Like it would be hilarious. Again, with the amount of
like
seed
the
one
lower
team,
bracket power up.
Yeah.
That would be fun to watch.
Especially because, like, elimination's on the line. Like, maybe Aurora with no elimination, their players are maybe a little bit, a smidge more relaxed. Just a smidge. Like, maybe, I'm talking like 5%. You put them in the lower bracket, they are not relaxed at all. Yeah. Keeping them to the profit. Song to save them for now, but it's a little whittle song, not a big one. Of course, Naga only has 1 point in the ultimate.
So they at least get away here for Mira. Essentially going to try and go for a fight. Oh, difference has gone in. That's a little bit too deep on the Necrophos. Now it's going to be a full-blown fight. BKB is being popped for both these teams. Now, trying to get on top of the Necrophos. Big wall that comes forward once again. Mira goes in. They take down the Necro. So, overextension comes in to number one from one move. Massive Ravage hits in from Corrupted, though. Now they're able to turn around for one side. Just be able to take down Kiyotaka. They aren't able to stand and fight against the big old Terror Blade. And Mira will snowball in and jump out with the Blink Dagger. So, Aurora able to punish a little bit of the overaggression there from one move, but Kiyotaka losing his life is not how they wanted to end that fight, but still a good fight nonetheless.
Yeah, killing the Necrophos, right? They killed him in the top lane, a beautiful pickoff inside their own jungle. They bait him in a little bit deeper, and Mira, with the Essence Ring, is able to get that additional burst of HP, doesn't care about the Scythe, and yeah, we're going to see the replay here. The song, it kind of feels like, you know what, that's a dead Tusk. Look at the Necrophos. He just used it as shard, he repositions, he thinks, all right, boys, we have an entry to the fight, but yeah, like I said, they keep him alive, and now they're not ready. They're terribly. Look at the minimap. He only just entered the dire jungle to now get to the high ground, and it's sure they get a return on Death Rocket, but it's all because the Necrophos got a little bit too baited, and that is kind of the theme, at least for the last 3 minutes of gameplay. One move, dying top on the Necrophos, now dying in the jungle because he's overextending. He cannot take this lead and throw it away for his team. If he just calms down a little bit, stabilizes his own game, they can see how Aurora can't fight. When Terrorblade turned up, everyone on Aurora ran away, right? Like, the game isn't that complicated for them. Unless they make it for themselves.
Mira.
He TP'd, he's chilling. Yep.
Has no way to snowball through on that one for Mira, so wasn't able to stop the Shadow Realm TP. But yeah, I completely agree with you, right? Like it kind of feels like that difference is kind of overplaying his hand just ever so slightly. And if they just pull back, just as you said, just a couple of %. It is very hard for Aurora to actually keep those fights going. Yes, they've got a couple of BKBs that are up now for their cause, but all it takes is a Terrorblade to kind of rock up, press that meta button, and it'll be very hard for them to stand and fight.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see, Yeah, I was just double checking as well with the Tusk. Did he get the Dormant Courier to then go for the Essence Ring? So I think that's my favorite combination at the moment for initiating supports. When you get the additional, buff up on the HP from the Essence Ring, it kind of makes a difference. You go from like 240 HP to like, I think it's like 310 or something. It really is.
Yeah, it looks like he's got the base one.
Yeah. But it is very nice when you... any bit of HP is very critical.
He did have the greater Healing Lotus as well in that previous fight for Mira, so it was just nice, a good bait all in.
So very good.
now it's slowed down a little bit here for the side of one move. Obviously, they've most likely understood that the over-aggression is starting to get them to lose a few more of these fights and just trying to pull this game back a little bit. And to be fair, not really too many of his objectives left on the map for them, with Roche down as well as the Tormentor. So can't only really have this tier 2 tower they're trying to build towards here. Just need to make sure that they don't lose any more of this map control back to Aurora as they continue to try and claw back into this game.
They're pretty ready to fight them. Like, clicking around the heroes and like, oh, wipe out. So he's now got a Basher. You've got the Crimson in the Pipe, of course. He's had that for multiple fights on Darkseid, but the fact that you're as the Basher is, it's a big enough time to go for a kill. The real question is, will they find a team? Yeah, will they find anyone? Or, okay, they just go Roche then.
I guess with Roche just spawning now that Aurora, they're going to be able to sneak a nice little early one here and be able to get this second Roche at 27 minutes.
That's going to feel so bad for one move. Like, Roshan was ooh. Okay, maybe. Any blinks?
Out of the pit.
Oh, BKB.
Oh, pops the BKB. And now he's going to try and TP out. They have the snowball. Oh, he moved them forward. I don't know if that was intentional, but the fact that the Treants moved just far enough in front of Gilgear meant that the snowball didn't cancel his TP.
That's very, very good. Let's assume he did it. That's our job. Incredible micro from the Nature's Prophet. It's always a fun one, right? It's like, when you go back in like the history of Dota, like how many Dota players have actually been spun in a way just because the caster perceived it to be like a great play instead of it actually being so, you know.
I could imagine that there would be so many different individual plays or potential like the one that comes to mind is the Ana buyback thing where he goes and like he obviously intentionally did it, but he was just like, yeah, I was just selling stuff to hope. Like, I was just hoping. And now we're seeing Corrupted hoping to see if he can get away from Nightfall here. Haven't got any bashes just yet. He's turning around with the Ravage, so looking to go back in onto the Tuskar mirror. He's going to go back in with the Essence Rings. Kiyotaka in the backlines, trying to take down a few more of these heroes. They're just going to song and disengage. Gilgear has gone forward. They don't have the BKB just yet here for Nightfall. He's going to get chopped down by the Reaper's sight, so the second life is going to be available now for the Ursa. Seeing how much damage they can do though, he wants to blink away and looks like they want to try and keep this fight going. He has to re-engage now by getting back in on top in Kiyotaka. He's going to lose his life to the Terrorblade. A little bit of a disconnect there from Kiyotaka and Nightfall. Nightfall wanted to get out. Kiyotaka stayed and fought. Didn't really have a good way of getting out either, to be fair.
But at no point was the Terrorblade pressured, right? They're jumping onto the Tidehunter once again with the Ursa. He'd already used the BKB, you know, in a different engagement, so that wasn't available. And then Terrorblade just walks up and goes, oh, lads, you've got this front line already secured, no pressure to the back line. Let me just A-click down the entire fight. And
Nightfall really jumping Tidehunter, at least.
Oh, okay, he got one bash, but it was at the same time where his Blubber procced and he 4-stuffed.
Yeah.
Look at this. This is not a fight though, right? Like, again, look at the mini map. Look at the Darkseid. He just entered the triangle. He's rocking up late. Not saying that Toronto Tokyo is late. It's more, if anything, Nightfall went too early, right? That's probably the better way of describing that one. One move, they're playing as a team. They're always present. And Necrophos nearly dies, but he uses the shard to get away from some additional right clicks, get another burst of heal. Imagine if Aurora just were together. Imagine if they made a jump as 5. It really could be different. And as time progresses, the Terrorblade is going to get close to untouchable. He has the Butterfly complete. We just saw, of course, they did take the Tormentor during the replay. But damn.
Yeah, just as you said, just needing just that little bit of extra team coordination coming in from Aurora, and you know, potentially maybe the lower bracket is kicking the butt that they're going to need. Toronto Tokyo trying to run away here. Nightfall's going to try and just buy a bit of space with his body. Gilgear will just Shadow Realm with 2 feet away. So we've seen that plenty of times, and it's forcing a bit of these movements coming out of Aurora. But yeah, it really does feel like that. That's
a fun graph.
So funny.
That's really good. It's like, yep, see ya, back to us.
It's
the
like,
difficult thing.
Okay, we're starting to lose. All right, another team fight goes Aurora's way. Okay, back the other way, guys. All right, see you later.
At least for Nightfall, he is going to have an MKB for the next fight. So in his mind, it's like, I can now jump the Terrorblade because I have the damage. The problem there, it's like, when he jumps, he needs his Darkseid to wall and the Tusk to be with him. If you don't jump in conjunction with your team, there will be a Hurricane Pike disengage from Terrorblade that you are going to die. One move though, they find the Tusk and...
Gets in trouble, isn't able to get away from the Reaper's Scythe that time around, and just isn't able to snowball himself out of there, just thanks to the Terror in the Deep. In the back lines though, Kiyotaka is just BKB TP'd. Alright.
Yeah.
Popped the XL as well, so that is just running in the fountain.
Yeah, but he popped... I also just had him to be delivered on the Cure at mid-tier 2. Mira dies at the tier 1. Sure. Again, maybe I didn't really pay attention to where Death Prophet was, but either way, wild to see that he also had to use the EXO in some capacity there. One move. Really
he was down in
this.
the towards the Radiant tier 1. He was fighting far away. It was a 1v4.
Oh, nice. Oh. Technically,
he almost
you could argue he did win because he lived, right? You want to try?
I mean, who's being the positive guy now? You know,
no.
That's a pretty good spin on it, T. All right, I'll give you that one.
The problem is when I cast, I obviously hold teams to like the standards of what they've done in the year, right? So me watching Aurora play like this, I'm just shocked, right? Because Aurora on LAN, they're like so disciplined, breaking stuff. Sure, they have like the meme moments of like a TP out or Kiyotaka, blah blah blah, right? But fundamentally, they are a strong team that makes their way. Watching them here, I'm like, they just don't look like the team that was on LAN. Right? That's the reason why I'm kind of shocked. But then they're gonna make some like insane play in 10 minutes time, win the game, and it's like Aurora, you know? But it's like the journey there is just it is a bit weird. Oh, there you go. There's a Willow Death. Yeah. So it begins, I guess.
It was just the very quick overpower bash into Gilgear. Unfortunately, couldn't react to that one. But yeah, I agree with you. I mean, you know, when you cover these teams throughout the entirety of the year, and especially a team like Aurora, and you know you've covered them quite a lot over the year, and especially when they're getting top 8s, like you kind of expect them to come into a closed qualifier and kind of dunk on some kids and then walk home with the TI spot, right? Whereas,
especially because there's no
kind of serving up is not exactly that.
Yeah, there's no BB, there's no Spirit, there's no Paravision, right? It's like there really isn't like a contender other than maybe the new Na'Vi that in my mind should even be close. So the fact that I watched a 64-minute game against Quantum yesterday where Aurora could have lost it, we're watching a 35-minute game now where one move, they have all the cards to be able to take this game. It's like, whew, it's really given me hope that there is upset potential inside the region, especially because coming into the qualifier, I'm not going to lie, I sat here and went, I can't wait to work Aurora wins the qualifier event. You know, it's kind of it's the equivalent to, you know, Nigma and when they have to play, you know, their qualifier in different tournament, in a different, you know, setup. It's like, all right, here we go, boys. But no, this is great. I'm all down for this. And Shiva's of course picked up on the Necrophos as I've been blabbing for about a minute or two.
And I enjoy that as well. I enjoy when there's upset potential and be able to actually go into a day of casting and not have it basically pre-written for you. But I'm also very excited to see Aurora at their best as well, because that is some top tier Dota. So hopefully we get a little bit of both. I know beggars can't be choosers, but we're here trying to choose. All right, so big smoke coming out here for one move. I want to see if they can try and win this next team fight. Full Hex available now for Corrupted as well.
Yeah. Don't forget, Nature's Prophet did pick up the Dagon, so you can kill the illusion from the Dark Side of the Terrorblade. So they found a way to counter the Dark Side, at least in this next fight.
So Corrupted looking at the angle to see if he can try and find anybody here. Wants to try and see if he can take down Kiyotaka before the Exorcism comes in. But smoke already here from Aurora. They're just going to the Hex onto the background here as well. See if they can take down Penta. Gets a nice little bit away with the mirror image. And Reaper's Scythe not really going to do much though. Kiyotaka's just going to go TP back to that tier 3 tower. Wants to get in the better positioning here thanks to his BKB. Everybody's just disengaging. BKB's galore from everybody here on Aurora. That's a big terrorize there. Hits on the Kiyotaka. They want to see if they can take down the Death Prophet. This Exorcism is really starting to run low. They get the Hex out as well, but now they just turn back around and Nightfall absolutely deletes the Tidehunter. Corrupted was there, but he is no more. Kiyotaka once again is able to blink back to the tier 3 tower, and Aurora doing a beautiful job with this team fight to disengage. Panther will hit the song. They'll get a bit of regen off the back of it as well, seeing if they can take down Gilgear, but he will just go up in the air thanks to the Yule. So Aurora waiting out to see if they have to re-engage, but at least they come out of that without losing anybody.
Whoa, so many little things that went wrong for one move there, right? They get the initiation, they see the Naga sign, but then the Scythe doesn't connect. And then after that, the fight progresses to the right-hand side, and Terrorblade, he sticks to the mid lane. He doesn't follow his team, which you lose so much damage. Therefore, Arby could have maybe died if the Terrorblade was able to join over, but yeah, Aurora kiting back away from that fight. Lucky to not lose their Naga Siren to the Scythe and then capitalizing it nicely, getting the tide kill with the Ursa. The spells all have been used for one move. They need to go back to reset. 40 seconds for Meta, 80 seconds for Ravage. And Roshan, it is going to be up soon. One move could be upset if it's a quick spawn.
It was a relatively quick spawn last time, so...
Yeah, it's going to be... The spells will be back up. I've just checked the timer. They're in the clear. They survived. But that is the mistake that Aurora capitalized. Get Roshan, and the game's back in their favor. The jump needs to be better for one move in the next time. Aurora will punish you when you don't execute on your fight.
Yeah, it just has to be clean and concise, right? Like, if you're blink axing someone, you need to get that kill straight away, especially if Difference is going to commit their entire body for that as well, trying to get these really precise kills. So, so they're not clean. There's a lot of kite potential here from Aurora, obviously being able to surge, get everybody to reset. They've got the Song of the Siren to reset as well. They've got blink daggers on both their mid laner and their safe laner. So there's lots of avenues here for Aurora to continue to keep resetting those fights, and especially if the Terrorblade's not in the vicinity just yet. Wait and see now. Both teams are just kind of keeping an eye on the map. Or it should be up in a couple of seconds, guys. And it is here now, so they are well aware of it if they are one move. There's a scan that came out on the Radiant side there. We're able to catch out a few of these members, so at least now Aurora will understand that the Roche is up as well. So everybody's ready and raring to go with all of their ultimates and all their abilities. Let's see who executes the best in this fight. The waves are relatively pushed up now for the side of Aurora, so they do have to be careful of that. Panto's trying their best to push this one out, but Mira, he's the one that's caught out. Reaper Scythe down as well. Does have buyback on the Tusk, though. But look at this forward position coming in here from one move. Kiyotaka's going to try and be the body in the front. See if you can try and take a little bit of this pressure away as well. Looking to see what Nightfall's able to do. He's able to get this quick assassination. They want to try and go forward here onto Gilgear. Gets very, very low. Goes up into the end. He'll set the buying a little bit more time. Now they're going to have the buyback coming out here from Mira. So they will lose both of their supports. Both of them buyback. So Gilgear will be able to buy a little bit more time. No BKB on the Ursa, though. So this is big for this next fight. Okay, let's see who captures who. Exorcism's popped here by Kiyotaka, walking in onto Difference. Does pop that Ghost Shroud as well. He's going to sit inside the ethereal form. Then the BKB, TP away, they get the bash. That's what you need here from Nightfall. But now they've overcommitted. They get all the saves in the snowball as well. They will be able to walk back in. Will Panto. Panto's going to have to turn off that song in just a moment. The big wall comes down as well. The vacuum on top of it to keep all of these illusions in place. Corrupted though, still trying to stand tall in front of Aurora. They will start to disengage. They're losing a lot of their life thanks to all of this damage from Kiyotaka. Takes down Corrupted there on the Tidehunter as well, but it's Eyesight. Turns around, takes down Mira. The vacuum cancels the TP there on the Terrorblade. Kiyotaka standing and fighting, but look at all the damage that comes in from the TP. The bash comes in once more. The Sunder was almost there for Nightfall, but he's able to get away from that cast animation, and he will eventually look for more as well. And one move. Yes, they kill Kiyotaka, but it's Nightfall who survives, and they take down the big cause. The only remaining member is Gilgear.
Getting so close to winning the fight, but then critical spells are just not getting in, right? The fact that the Titan jumps in, the snowball's already in play, he then ravages, so it's not like the snowball's dodging the ravage, he just used ravage, and that then goes kind of wrong. And then Terrorblade, he goes to Sunder, a full HP Ursa. He's about to turn around, clutch up the fight, doesn't matter if you miss ravage, I'm gonna kill the Ursa. Guess what? He gets the bash. Terrorblade, boom, you're now dead as well. And yeah, you see here, it's like He's already, I believe, yeah, he's already snowballed. So the Tidehunter has critical information of, I can't ravage them. But in the heat of the fight, in the moment, he commits, and it's just not a good place for one move to engage in there. Under the wall already, they're having to try and like move to the left-hand side. Corrupted, he can't get out, but yeah, one move. If they were a little bit cleaner in the engagement, these fights would be going their way, and the vacuum cancelling the TP. You're going to see it here. Maybe slow motion, maybe not. We'll see. But one bash. Bah. See ya. The bash is all that matters, right?
Through the animation, yeah.
Or it's like he gets bashed, and then he's like, then he has to turn around. Like, if he doesn't get bashed, he turns. He's going to sunder no matter what. Like, basically, in that moment, it's like all that matters is, does a bash occur from any point on Terrorblade? If no bash happens, Terrorblade will sunder you. He didn't actually cancel the animation. It's kind of pre-animation. He bashed him, but still, it's the fact he bashed saved his own life. Good old RNG clutch moment there. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes make your own luck. Nightfall being able to play around that entire fight really well. And this is what you were talking about, right? Where this is just kind of what we're expecting from Aurora, them to kind of just clutch up and just play those fights just a little bit better than what One Move are. And unfortunately for them, sometimes a little bit of a rush of blood from Corrupted hitting that Ravage onto absolutely nobody. I mean, seeing Kiyotaka and Nightfall kind of holding hands in the trees, like, yeah, it's a pretty juicy Ravage target. I don't blame him for that, but you know, Mira was one step ahead.
The value of Snowball. It's always, I mean, you said it during the draft, you like watching in Tusk because of the ability to kind of showcase your skill, right? And here it is. Snowball saves. Constant pressure. He has a BKB to ensure that he can stand his ground. Again, I'm a big fan of going Blink BKB. It means you're never affected by a random Bramble Maze or Ravage or anything like that. You know you're going to make that save if you want to make it.
Also building towards a nullifier as well on Mira. So I like that.
Does.
They obviously need a nullifier. And if he's able to build it, then frees up the space for Nightfall.
Yeah, Nightfall's build is, let me kill Terrorblade, which then means he really doesn't touch the Necrophos. So yeah, I like the fact that someone else is kind of picking up the pieces for us having to respect Terrorblade. Of course, Nightfall did have the refresher. He picked it up after the kill on the Terrorblade. So post Aegis, 2 BKBs, 2 Enrages. Very hard to kill.
Very hard to kill him.
Yeah. And
Doing a good job at least killing Kiyotaka in a lot of these fights.
Sure, but that's like the MO though for Aurora. Like, Kiyotaka is so like in your face as a player that killing him often means it's a good fight for Aurora. Because eventually you'll kill. You got to go through a Shiva's BKB, you know, quad siphon Death Prophet, and then Toronto Tokyo's going to hit a 3-4 man vacuum. Ursa's going to kill a hero for free with a Abyssal Blade, right? Like, at this stage of the game, you need to find a way to not fall for the bait, right? It's you need clean kills, not the I got me a Kiyotaka.
They fall for the Kiyotaka bait. Bait every time. We'll see if they can continue to play like this for Aurora. They are definitely in the driver's seat now, 45 minutes into the game. Whereas One Move, they're the ones that need to have these very clean fights to try and get this game going. I feel like, unfortunately for Difference, just a couple of those fights in the mid game where he got caught out. What was it in the top lane and then towards the dire jungle as well? Felt like those 2 deaths were so pivotal for his game, really just slowing down and not enabling him to snowball like he was starting to at the beginning of the game.
But look top, if he shows in the wave, Nightfall, he's hunting. They're smoked up. He doesn't even show on the wave. He's just going to bump into them.
Yeah.
First bash, yep, into Abyssal, and dead.
Yeah, just seems like it's all coming up Aurora here, and it's taken them the long way around to get this, but seems like this is still the expected outcome for this game number 1.
One move when they respawn. Oh, okay, being on the Death Prophet. Okay, he also wants to try and kill the Terrorblade.
I mean, he's got a lot of attack speed in combination with the Ags. Like,
he's cooking.
He also has the Hurricane Pike as well, so alright. He got the alert version of Outward Self as well, so big right-click build here from the Death Prophet. I like to see it from Kiyotaka. Like,
He's cooking.
he also has the Hurricane Pike as well, so alright. He got the alert version of Outward Self as well, so big right-click build here from the Death Prophet. I like to see it from Kiyotaka. Alright, they're going to go forward. They found Kiyotaka, but Nightfall goes in the back line here. Uses the Abyssal Blade there onto Eyesight. Gets this under at least, but now with the refresher on, the Terror Blade's going to go down. Nightfall's just been able to delete him in the back lines. And Eyesight is gone now for 90 seconds. Corrupted is going to be very, very low as well, and it looks like one move. They have eventually lost everything here in the 47th minute. They have no Terror Blade for 82 seconds. They do have buyback out on Corrupted as well, but up in the air goes a couple more of these heroes. Nightfall with the double kill and the godlike spree. That is 4 dead. Lid's going to make it 5. The G's have been dropped, and this time around, Aurora get it done in 47 minutes. I mean, if you're an Aurora fan, a win's a win, but at the end of the day, you're expecting this to be a little quicker here for you, and unfortunately, for one move.
A bit of a flex up, but yeah, I mean, they're going to play at some pace. Overall, I mean, obviously I'm expecting Aurora to win this one, but if I was like looking at this blind, didn't know who was who, I'll be honest, I'm probably saying one move. I'm not brave enough to go for the Omni carry, even though I love it with all my heart.
Okay.
They got no stuns on their cores though, T-Gov. That's always a little bit scary for me.
Yeah, no. I see that. The support's coming clutch though, for sure, with the Willow and the Disruptor, but no, I do agree with you in the sense of if this was a 25 minutes of even farm, everyone's like towers are taken evenly, Roshan's have been like not contested yet. I am leaning to one move because of course Lyca and Death Prophet, they kind of fall out of the game a little bit, but the fact that Death Prophet, her current itemization path with Aghanims, we just saw Kiyotaka go for an MKB in the last game. He has Hurricane Pike and BKB.
Yeah.
He can then threaten the Morphling he wants to go Butterfly. So it's not as if this is a Death Prophet, an old school patch where it's like Yules and I'm only utility. Like this is a right clicking Death Prophet. So maybe there is a lot more late game potential than we kind of expect based on 7.39 version of the heroes.
Gilgear being a little bit ran out by 3 heroes here, but Corrupted comes in, 2-man stun to make sure they'll secure this bounty rune, but they are not giving up this chase here on Aurora. They want to try and get Gilgear here, and with the right clicks coming through, Blood Grenade coming out as well. It's looking like it will be the end. See you later, Mr. Grip. That'll be first blood going towards Nightfall. Why is he called Grip, by the way? We had, do we know this?
I don't know why pro players want to change their names. Like they build up like a history and like a career around a name, and they randomly just pivot. I have no idea. Maybe it's
why do you change your head? Why do you change your your dress?
Yeah.
Sorry, dude. that was unintentional. My bad.
Brother. All right, Jesus. Why are you bald, brother?
Yeah.
Why my hairline's not good, alright?
So often, T.
All right, sorry. Why does your microphone not work, Nomad? Huh? Why couldn't we cast game 1?
Yeah,
I'm only saying that because production's here, so now they feel. Oh, sorry. Anyway, what were you saying?
I was just saying it's it's a change up, new year, new me. Things aren't going the way you want. Yeah, switch up the name, and it's the only thing they've got. It's the only thing which shows to the public on their faces, on the webcams, and in tournaments.
Pick a lane, boss. Which one do you want to talk about first?
This is Patrick's job. Patrick, take us to a lane. Or just stay on this one if you want to talk about this one. Man, every time I do this. Every goddamn time. There is actually a fight going on, Patrick. Gilgear is actually almost dead. And one more right click is going to get him gone. Of course, he knew. He's playing around with us. That's another death onto Gilgear here in the top lane. This is to be expected. Nightfall, Panto, Disruptor, Omni Knight. Yeah, I mean, I said that they've got a strong lane in the Shaman and Centaur, but you give away First Blood and all of a sudden that's kind of going down the toilet.
Oh, wait.
Wow.
Hold on.
Hold on, indeed.
He left the lane and just got Edict down. Yeah, that's
Okay.
a lot of damage, yeah. Ooh, nice play though, at least to recover a bit of that mid-pacing, right? The Lycan sends a wolf to deny the bot rune. So even though Kiyotaka gets the top water rune, he does trade his life for it, and yeah. But Leshrac, no mana now due to the deny. He might have to take a trip back to base after this creep wave, which is not what you expect when a mid laner gets a solo kill, to see him then walking back to lane. Base, sorry.
Yeah, that is a Lycan effect, isn't it?
What a little mini waveform about? That was okay.
Yeah,
Top lane, on me.
yeah, it's going to be another
rough.
kill going the way of the Omni Knight. Nightfall living through that one, getting the turnaround. Hammer of Purity plus Purification. It is so much healing. This hero never seems to die. Chaos in the top lane, very much favoring the side of Aurora. Down at bottom, meanwhile, it's pretty chill down here, I would say. I mean, the Morphling isn't getting a whole lot though.
Because Oracle is such a weak laner. Like you play on sure, you have Fortune's End and Purifying Flames, but it's like what, you're dispelling a 90 damage on a hero to then hope to get level 3. It really is like difficult. Once you enter the game, sure, hero is so good, great positioning, turnaround potential, but yeah, you are starved a bit in laning phase, and a Willow and a Lycan will have to utilize the weakness of the Oracle to get a couple more denies and
Yeah,
just
they've
remind
got
them.
some like good burst potential, I guess, at level 3. Purifying Flames, Fortune's End, Waveform, like it'll hurt,
But if you go in, then you get Bramble Maze, and there's a Howl, potentially a Howl if you levels it, of course, right? But yeah, like when you pick Oracle, you are just playing for block hard camp, pull small camp, and just everyone's happy with levels and farm. If you kill the enemy, it's because they've made a misplay, but not because your hero innately has a timing to get the kill. Of course, that might change if it was a different carry instead of morphing, right? Like if you had like a troll or something, then, or like a juggernaut, some like weird combination to play on with the root. But with this current matchup, they're happy just hitting creeps, getting levels, and trying to find an answer to the inevitable Helmwolf Dominator that will be coming out on Toronto Tokyo.
and that's a unit I'm not going to be able to deal with too easily, and it's going to absorb a lot of the pressure from the Leshrac, helping to soak up these edicts in the fight. There's yeah, constant aggression on Corrupted up here in the top lane. The volley's being thrown either way here, but nobody getting really low enough to be upset. Going on a pretty quiet laning phase, other than that kill at mid. And the constant trading up in the top side. But now Corrupted and Gilgir have kind of accepted their fate and are playing a lot more carefully. Really getting too up into the business of Aurora, though they're out there going on to Corrupted here. Panto, he's got the glimpse whenever he wants to throw it down here, and in it comes with the Purification. They'll get the kill.
The mirror just rocks up with TP. Oh, thank you very much. I get the kill and off I go.
Well, comes to the top lane, gets a kill, leaves. Toronto Tokyo, he's absolutely fine by himself. The Oracle offers no kill threat onto him, really.
And we see Gilgir like trying to grab a wave. He obviously did this earlier in the laning phase because the value of glimpse. When you're position forward trying to grab a wave, you get glimpsed. You're too far from the wave, it de-aggroes and kind of the purpose falls apart. But the fact that his first attempt at wave pulling on a minute 5 is...
On to Kiyotaka. Kiyotaka tries to go for the X's and gets caught out by Gilgir. And that's going to be a kill on Kiyotaka once again.
Yeah, very, very good move. It's like the only lane that can truly kill him, right? It's around the Leshrac. As soon as the hero got picked in the draft, it really felt like that was everything one move needed, right? It's like the guy that can bring the damage, the guy that can fix the passive nature of the side lanes, and yeah, different so far. 2-0, 2 kills on the Prophet. Also, I think 2-0 on the pauses, but that's another story.
Well, look at that.
Yeah, the DP's not having a wonderful time, but you know, it was the last pick Leshrac, right? So this is clearly something which Difference wanted to play into. And yeah, the first death was a little bit maybe just miscalculating the value of Spirit Siphon into the damage of Edict with Misanthropy.
Different is. The main thing is I'm just intrigued to know like what is his Lycanization? Lycan getting poked in the bot lane, but Kiyotaka's here with an ultimate and a root from the Willow, and they're both dead.
Yeah, Kiyotaka just kind of rocked up and just ate them all. Just the ghost just came in and took them out so easily. Didn't look close at all. He's got some shamans and some... Okay, this time has come on to Nightfall though, so both carries taking a fall here. Nice rotations from difference. He is trying to be exactly that in this game. So far, so good for the Leshrac. Very impressive with this so far.
Going back to the point about his items, the normal build is like Atos and Kaya to provide a bit more lockdown. You eventually go for like Gleipnir down the line, but it's your own control to set yourself up. A pub build is going for Blink Dagger, and then you just jump on anyone you see and kill them off. Because you have the Oracle, you don't really need the tankiness of the Atos. So I'm intrigued, like, will he go for the Blink Dagger? Will he try and be super high pacing, or will he just stay traditional and continue playing the build that we often see? Now wrapping around.
Yeah, looking like we might have quite a big fight up in the top lane if Aurora want to take it. Without Exorcism, I would be surprised if they did. And one thing the Leshrac does sort of miss with this build is ability to really push and take towers, but the difference he can make is huge. As Mira gets taken down, Edict just eats through these heroes, especially this Willow who's trying to get inside the Shadow Realm and sneak away, but that's just not going to happen.
Okay, he is going to go Atos. Panther, looking for a glimpse, gets the glimpse.
Yep, gotta go for the shackle here, but Nightfall's there to take it off with Repel, and now turn around and just bring down this Shaman with ease once again. It's another death for Gilgar up in the top lane. 3 deaths within the first 8 minutes of the game. That is less than ideal. You know what I really want to see this game, T?
No, but go on.
Omni-Wolf.
Fair play. That's just, you know what?
Sounds
Didn't
fun.
think about it, and that, yeah, that sounds good. Hammer of Purities and whatnot getting thrown around from a wolf. Yeah.
Yeah.
But wouldn't you prefer to see Kiyotaka become a melee Death Prophet and make all of his crazy plays, but as a wolf? A wolf with spirits. Hmm?
Yeah, true. Spirit Siphon's just permanently on you. You just cannot escape. Maybe needs a refresher.
Wait, isn't that one of the facets for Lycan? It's really bad. Spirit wolves, where you don't get to micro them and they just follow you.
Yeah.
Yep, it is. Oh,
It was
you can
like,
create
really, really good at the start, and then
true.
they
Oh yeah, it was
dumped it.
actually. Yeah. It was like the harpoon build or something. You just go for
yeah.
full right click. But now they're just bad. Yeah, good shout though. It actually was pretty good for a brief period.
But it was just that, you know, the wolves gave you like extra damage, and then Feral Impulse gives you bonus damage, and then it's just like, okay. Guess he just does loads of damage now. Mira, try smoking up. Is that a smoke? Oh no, it's not. It's the Kobold Cup. My bad. Yep, dragging Oracle back into the middle of everybody and taking him down. Nightfall will get that kill.
In this stage of the game, I was going to go, okay, let's check the morphling, right? The whole point of the Leshrac and the way that one move need to play is to buy time, but he's 3,800 net worth. He's only got a Falcon Blade to his name, and if he was at like 4,500 net worth at the moment, maybe sporting like a Yasha, looking towards that, I'd be like, you know what? The game is looking bad, but there's hope. But they're going to need to make some really, really big moves on one move. It's the morphling. It's on full mode recovery. Losing his mid tower, of course losing the bot tower, soon to be top. So much gold is going away Aurora just through the economy of breaking the early objectives, and it's exactly what they did in the previous game as well. With the Death Prophet, they were able to just whittle down the tower so quickly. It's kind of contradiction of words, but that's fine.
So, ready to go, and empowered Exorcism as well, the Spirit Collector, so you gotta respect it. You can't really approach Aurora right now. They are far too strong. Your Morphling is nowhere near fighting fit. Leshrac, he's strong, but he's going to need at least a false promise behind him if he wants to go and fight. And they're just going to take these ancient stacks now on the side of Aurora.
He changed the build as well. He didn't go for the Atos, he went for the Kaya. He kind of realized that he can't be a playmaker that might get a kill. He needs to be the mid laner that really secures a bit more of a fight and corrupted. Every time he shows himself in a lane, it feels like he's just getting smashed by an Omni Knight or glimpsed by a Disruptor. It's rough. Interesting, they're actually smoking behind the Leshrac.
They certainly are. What do they want to get done here? I'm a little concerned because the Oracle's not with him. He's just hit his 6 and he is nowhere nearby. I kind of want to see them playing Leshrac and Oracle. It's such a strong combination. The Leshrac just run in and have that safety net. Nightfall does get seen. Hex comes out. Stampede, Snakes, everything being thrown at Nightfall here, and they will be able to bring him down without much question. Omni Knight has fallen. The enemy carry dead. But this isn't one of those games where killing Nightfall is going to feel like it's getting them this big momentum-changing thing in this game, because you kind of got 3 cores which are all sharing the limelight on Aurora, so it's going to have to be a move across, now kill off Toronto, Tokyo, then maybe look for Kiyotaka again. Like, it's not going to feel great unless you can constantly... Oh my god, everything's being thrown to the Leshrac. They find him in the trees. Bye-bye difference. That is his first death of the game, and it is a big one. And now Eyesight as well, not looking too happy. Gilgear, is there anything he can do here? I mean, he's got his stuns available. Eyesight, though, it might have just said, I'm absolutely fine, guys. Don't worry about me. That's certainly what it's looking like.
Just walk it off, boss. Walk it off. The value of positioning there. They see the Leshrac and just throw everything down, get the kill, and the hero with the tempo. His streak falls, and yeah, you're 100% right. Killing off an Omni Knight in the top lane, it's going to feel okay, but the fact that the Death Prophet is about to complete Aghanim's, the Lycan is about to complete Helm of the Overlord, these are the timings that we were really scared to see from Aurora, and there's been nothing truly to stop them. DP. Ever powerful was another glimpse on Shaman.
Maybe the high ground. Leshrac's respawned and coming over here with the Oracle behind him, but nah. I mean, Shaman gets
Omni,
out.
right? Like, if the fact that Leshrac is your big hero for one move, all Omni has to do is press repel on any hero Lesh goes on, and now Leshrac has to disengage from the fight. It really is quite a problem for one move.
Honestly,
try and find a way to move away from. Sorry, go on.
I don't see how Leshrac is so disengaged from a fight. It's kind of feeling like once he's in, he's kind of in.
True. It's probably why he's looking towards the Bloodstone, right? He wants to just stand in the middle and press all buttons and see what happens.
It's only 60% magic resist on repel, so you're still doing something. It's not going to be a lot,
okay.
but...
Silver lining. I rate it.
Yep. Morphling still trying to farm up into this game, but he is so poor. We said he needed a good game, and that has just not materialized thus far. Too much pressure coming out from Toronto, Tokyo, and Mirror. Okay. A pause, then go. Spirit Vessel going to be on the cards for Mira next. That's going to be a kind of preemptive answer to this Bloodstone already. You kind of know what he's going to do anyways. Also very good against the, well, kind of good against the Oracle, if he's used Fortune Death already. Snakes just gets thrown down in the middle lane here, so trying to take this tier 1 tower at the very least. Panto, TP's in, not sure about this, though. He just immediately drops everything onto Grip to make sure that he himself can't be targeted, and Gilgear, well, suddenly finding himself without any friends, without any moves to make. Runs up the high ground, glimpsed on back here, tries to get back across the creep wave. I mean, he's already kind of taken the tower here, so I don't think he's too mad about this.
Especially when you die that many times in laning. Ooh, Centaur, hold up. Welcome to the fight.
Yeah, okay, all right. Well, down goes Mirror, I suppose. Difference in BB3
Have a glimpse if they can get the vision.
Trying to get themselves out. Oh my god, that was close. BB3 does get caught though. He gets grabbed back into the middle of everything, but
Hey, have some
pretty
belief,
quick going down this
have
river.
some belief.
Whee! Water sliding away to safety.
Okay, he doesn't have teleport, but he does place the ward, so he has the Duke advantage. They go left, he goes
Dude, he's
right.
done him. He's absolutely cooked him.
You cast a curse him into survival.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
great! Why are you
absolutely.
tipping him? You're proving that he's now alive and still in the area. Don't tip the Oracle there.
It's good. It's good. It kind of implies that he's escaped and is in safe lands, when in reality he's actually behind enemy lines and still very much at risk. Smart. Now he's going to randomly find the Omni Knight here. Wonder if Omni's going to notice anything's wrong. I'm very invested in BB's story here.
Yep. I mean, he's gone on a beautiful journey.
Yeah, and he might have
He
just made
found
it out.
himself. Yeah, he has.
He can't believe it. I mean, this is during the night as well. He does not have much vision down in the slightest other than in the top side. So this was just like a blind run through the enemy side of the map. And indeed, he did get that sentry down as well, which Nightfall may well be suspicious of.
Don't forget, he also did place the Observer in the top to be able to survive, right? So, yeah. The Oracle.
He is a deep sea diver, this Oracle.
It is in his name to understand what's going to be happening, so impressive.
Talking about worst name awards, I feel like Oracle may well be up there with BB3PX. Here we go. Aurora, they're going to commit a lot to this one as in comes a shapeshift. They're just trying to blow up difference here, but they haven't really kept him controlled inside this silence. But Oracle, he's right behind him. It's going to throw out the Fortune 10 and the False Promise very, very early onto the Oracle to try and keep him alive. As Kiyotaka down to the backlines, Morphling corrupted. They actually find someone along with the snakes. Toronto Tokyo still chasing onto this Morphling. Doesn't do a whole lot of damage without his creeps in range to attack those. So this is a huge win here for the side of one move. What more can they get? I mean, not a whole lot, but I don't think they need to. Okay, Corrupted, he does get dragged back into the middle of everybody, and even with the Blade Mail upon him, Nightfall doesn't really give a damn. They'll bring him down regardless, so they get something for it.
If you are one move, even though you lose Centaur, Centaur is the type of offlaner that trading your life for a kill will always feel fine, right? Because your toolkit, like with Blink, eventually Crimson Blade Mail, like you're kind of done. Like any other item, it's a luxury. You might get an Axe, you might get a Lotus, whatever, but yeah, I think one move, especially with the pressure that Aurora could be applying right now, like the Lyco with the Helm of the Overlord, they took the bottom tier 2, but it hasn't progressed for, you know, more map play, right? So, yeah. Weirdly content that this game is slowly stabilizing for me. Of course, the inevitable Roshan take from Aurora, the post-Aegis, what can they do? That is going to be the real test for one move. The window in which Aurora should be truly breaking this game with their draft is going to be the next 5-minute window with the pickup of this Aegis. If they can find us a way to survive this, then we may have a game on our hands. And look at the net worth, the Lesh, the Morphling, they just overtook the Death Prophet, right? They are, I mean, sure, Roshan now kind of deletes that, but the point still stands. They are creating games for them. That was a Morphling that was the bottom of the cause after the laning phase, right? A very starved Morphling is finding his way very, very slowly into the game.
He was kind of given a chance by this fight here. Killing off Kiyotaka, the injection of gold, able to farm now safely for a bit. As Difference running into this though. Toronto Tokyo able to dodge out the stun. DD being super annoying in this one, but Mirror is dead on the back line. So they'll start off with a kill into a support, and in come the Cavalry. Aurora, they'll TP in using the gate. Nightfall is here, and Difference just gonna get absolutely rocked by this Omni Knight. Repellers upon him. A couple more hits will be required, but Difference will fall as Toronto Tokyo takes out the supports. It's a great fight for Aurora. They take out 3 with ease.
Out in no man's land, Aurora, they're just ready. We're mentioning that this is their window to fight and kind of one move, put themselves on a platter. It's like, please, whatever you'd like, good sirs, we are here for you.
Radiant are scanning.
Is there anything that Aurora would be waiting on? I'm looking at, not really. It really feels like anytime they want to be aggressive, they can. There's not like a hero or item that they're truly waiting for. Of course, in regards to map progression, there's only 2 towers left before they get to the high ground, and the question is, does Aurora think they're strong enough to want to go to the high ground in the first Aegis. Is this the type of game where they'll farm, get pick off to the first Aegis, get the second Aegis, and know to try and close out the game cleanly? Well, these are questions that we don't have the answers to. This is on Aurora and what they want to show us in the next minute or two.
Yep. I'm a little surprised that Kiyotaka was the one to take up the Aegis. I know he's been having the most trouble in the game in terms of staying alive, but also light switch hero with the Exorcism, so...
That has changed with the fact that they rush the Aghanims. As much as you do play on Exo, having Aghanims does give you like a second lease of life on the hero outside of the ultimate. Corrupted is getting prodded up just with the summons at the moment, not overcommitting as of yet.
Is not leaving him alone, but will now go down. And Eyesight gets that kill, which is 250 gold. It's pretty much a hero kill as VB needs to get himself away, but with the Stampede will be able to do so. And a nice TP out from Centaur as well, gets him to safety. Eyesight not going to be left behind either. They do get out of here pretty easily, but they are leaving their tier 2 tower pretty much for dead. At this point in the game, an Exorcism for just a tier 2 tower is really not the end of the world. I think they'll take it, especially with this Aegis in the hands of the Death Prophet and that foolish grip. They might even look for something when the Exo is down. It's going to be a pretty good opportunity to go. Like, sure, the Aghanims does work. I completely agree. It's a perfect item for the hero to be more effective across the game. But it is also a big ultimate which you could potentially look to exploit. They will need a better opening than just running at them with Exo down, though. We'll see if Aurora gives them one. Oh, no. Oh, Leshrac, very quick, though. On the... I still have the ulti going. Bloodstone comes off, but it doesn't seem to make a difference because Panto didn't just stay in range of the Leshrac because he's not an idiot. It means the Leshrac doesn't really get to lifesteal if anybody, so he is going to die. Nice kill here onto Difference, and that's just going to diffuse anything. Although, look at this! The Shaman going in, Ripper's Lash coming out as well, and Panto's just going to get solo killed by the Shaman, who's now going to TP himself away, and he makes it out as well. Gil Gear God.
651 gold and a solo kill. His game, you know, it's not been the best, but suddenly we're already looking at a Shaman to get to level 12, and you've got to take every little victory. We've been constantly saying that, and yeah, do anything that you can during the Aegis. You lose the Leshrac, then you kill a Disruptor. Like, okay, it's not great,
about this
but
smoke though.
Yeah, I would prefer to see the Morphling farm for the butterfly than spend 30 seconds running around, but...
Like, running around, maybe you find a Lycan and force a shapeshift out of him. I think that's like the best they can hope for in this. I could be wrong. Maybe they'll kill him. Maybe I'm underestimating the damage.
They're getting scouted by a wolf. The wolf is on the Morphling.
Yeah.
So the Tokyo knows they're coming.
He's just going to leave. So this whole thing's just been a big old waste of time for Mr. Morphling. Who's knows that there's... Oh, there is a static storm, actually. Just decided to use it. Okay. So, BBE escapes. All right. Well, at least they get out okay.
I think going on to an illusion. Killed the illusion.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Okay. One move, they really are playing with fire here. They're like running right up into Aurora. An Aurora that has glimpse and all this chase down potential, and then they get out, but they're smoking up again. Of course, it is a little bit naive to think that Morphling can suddenly farm the whole component of Butterfly, right? But at this point, he'd be moved 500 gold away, and now they find Kiyotaka.
Quick reactions there from Kiyotaka, getting off the BKB, but is it going to make a difference? Morphling's got the damage, but he actually waveforms really far away. That's going to allow Kiyotaka to get back to his team and go for the reset here. Difference throws in the damage, but they've got the repel out onto Kiyotaka. The DP still absolutely fine. Difference, got to be a little bit careful about going too deep. Oh my god, Gilgear, he wants him. Gilgear going in deep. Gilgear goes for the grab, but gets terrorized back, but it doesn't matter. Eyesight does not get caught by that terrorize. And now he moves in, looking for more. This Morphling may well have just become the Giga hero of the game. Jumping in, looking for more, repelling himself up as well with the... Oh no, he gets jumped by Nightfall. All of a sudden, mirrors on him as well, and there goes your Morphling. Oh my goodness, it was looking like he was about to do it all. And then he just gets completely stomped on.
The Oracle is not able to follow up the aggression of the Morphling, right? They jump the Death Prophet, she gets a disengage, he then waveforms to the right-hand side, doesn't kill the DP. Elon kind of makes the fight just so much more of a longer one than required. And on top of that, he jumps, what, 2-3 waveforms later, Where's the Oracle? You can't keep up with how mobile he is. One thing to note that we haven't mentioned, of course, is Morphling taking the Omni Knight, you get the repel on your carry. So Morphling, when he does get to Butterfly, Satanic, Daedalus, all these items, it is going to be so scary for Aurora to play into a Morphling that is getting a free, BKB in essence. So execution just not helping one move there. It feels like the first game, like one little change to the way they take the fight, and then they're making the big moments, and they're having these just successful engagements, but not working out as of yet. Also, I'm pretty sure he managed to dodge the Terrorize. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, he did. I was trying to figure out what it was, whether it just narrowly missed him, whether he manted it. Didn't quite see in the fight, but yeah, the timing matched up with the cooldown of the manta.
That is okay. A future hyping scenario will be when Centaur picks up Ags. You grab the Leshrac, and then you have Disco Pony Leshrac with Pulse Novas and Diabolic Edicts and everything just going thrown around.
A double man-horse combo. Very, very strong.
Yes. Oh, powerful.
Cool. He's gonna... No, he's gonna say he's gonna make it back to the fountain, but who knows if he dies anyway. But yeah, absolutely getting squashed here.
What weathermancery is this?
So much damage at this point in the game.
We do have Butterfly on Morphling. We are yet to see Aurora have to try and tackle the high ground. High ground with their heroes is somewhat scripted, right? It's DP with Exo or the summons from the Lycan.
Nice sight, hiding in the trees. They're trying to set up a trap here on the Watcher. I like the idea. However, going to be a difficult one to execute. Kind of notice it's something weird here as the wolf gets killed by the creep wave. Oh, on the top side. They found out Centaur corrupted. Get chased here by Toronto Tokyo. Tokyo doesn't care at all about the blade mail, and we'll just be able to kill him off.
Leshrac,
Two-man stun coming out here. BKB's there. They'll need a little bit more to finish off Mirror, but they'll get it. But difference, he's just being right-clicked to death. Where is the Oracle? Is he nearby? No, he is not.
No.
He died earlier. Already used False Promise, so that doesn't matter, though. They don't chase that far on the Leshrac. A little bit cautious, and difference will just leave. So I gives him the tip and says, well, thanks for trying to save me, buddy. I appreciate it.
you have to give credit to one move though, that they are, even under the threat of Aurora's heroes, they're going to such aggressive positions, and at some point it might be the kill that gives them life in the game, or they die and, you know, whatever, Aurora wins game 2, right? But the fact that they're still trying to go for these really like small percentage chance plays, and maybe this one's different, right? Because it's like Centaur getting jumped first and you're just trying to, you know, get a kill you can, right? But they're not just instantly TPing out, running away from the fight. Throws down the Exo, goes towards Roshan.
Kiyotaka can pretty much solo this if he wants to. But Nightfall going to get involved in the action as well, just to speed things up a bit.
It was an Arcane Rune ultimate, right? We'll be up very quickly.
Quick cooldown.
They have a smoke if they want to on one move, and you have to, I mean, okay, Kiyotaka's showing that he's used Exo in the mid lane. I was like, maybe you have to assume it's on cooldown, right? But he's like, hi guys, I used the ult for this one.
Yeah, that is true.
The Wolves and Toronto Tokyo, they're getting so much vision throughout this entire game. Multiple ganks have been broken due to the vision from the Alpha Wolves. Even just knowing that they're in a position, and Centaur draws the line for his team. 4 heroes are smoked, Morphling still mid.
Panto pinged it. Said attack the Morphling. Utilizing the lovely new pings.
Disruptor's actually, what, 50 gold from an Aghanims. He's already been hitting some stellar static storms. And now if you static storm a Morphling, pre-BKB, pre-anything, it's cheerio boss, you're out of here.
Absolutely, and they may just find Mirror here. Mirror pretty low after going for the Tormentor and will be cleaned up pretty easily. So, you know, as is tradition, you die for the shard, whether it's by the Tormentor or whether it's by something else. Not 80% likely to die before or after receiving a shard from the Tormentor. That is a real statistic.
Yeah, so where'd you get that one from? Toronto, Tokyo?
Statistics.net. Hot new website.
Great plug.
Thank you.
Well,
Difference is just straight up dead. Okay. Just way too deep there. Like, yeah, the Oracle exists, but it doesn't have global range on False Promise, unfortunately, for you. And even if you did use it, I don't think it's going to make any difference. Yeah, that'd be
just
cool.
a 25 talent. That would, shard? Oh my god. Should be bonkers.
I think global range, but it has a travel time similar to how Fortune's End has a travel time. That's what I'd be up for.
Okay.
It'd be really fun.
No, I mean, you balancing it with travel time, it becomes close to maybe being acceptable. Just global full stop, I'm like, yep, okay.
Like, I'm actually sad. The only thing we have close to like global with big travel time is Skyra, which is also very fun.
True.
Like, yeah.
Oh, Konkatsu, sorry. Yeah.
Anyway, up the high ground we go. Another day, another exorcism coming on down. That's that arcane rune going to work. We've got ourselves a Roshan's banner to aid in this one as well. Look at positioning from Aura here. They're a million miles away from Kiyotaka, smoked up. So if they do try to jump the back lines, well, might be in for a rude surprise. Everybody out there, watch. This is how you go high ground, guys. Oh my god, they're jumping on the back. They're jumping even further back. Right, full sense something is wrong. There's a cart out, but nobody's in it. Get in the cart! Get in the cart! Oh my god, he can't get in the cart. I'm not sure they know how this works, but this is just turning incredibly awkward incredibly quickly. They need to leave right now. Eyesight trying to just salvage something from this fight, but it is just not good at all. So I try to get up to the high ground, but Kiyotaka is not leaving them alone. Like, you can blast your damage into Kiyotaka all you like. It's not going to make a blind bit of difference. Eyesight now completely alone. Oracle's going to buy back and see if he can do something here, but this is just an absolute train wreck of engagement here for one move, and Aurora wastes no time in taking advantage of that, going up the high ground, taking these buildings.
Like you said, with no buybacks, what defense can they have, right? Shaman, sure, might buy back just for the fun of it, but this is an inevitable mega creeps for the side of Aurora and a clean game 2 to close out the series, to progress to another round of the upper bracket.
That was so awkward though, like, I don't know, he tried to get him inside the little cart, couldn't manage it.
Got starting called, couldn't manage it yet.
Anyway, Eyesight beaten down now as well. Does have the waveform to get back and gets healed up by BB3PX. So they might get to make one more stand here, but Mega Creeps are out. Looking very, very unlikely. Corrupted. Final target here. Stampede being used as well. It's not looking clean. They're running and not even catching this Aegis hero. And by the way, if they do kill her off, she's going to have another exorcism on the second life. So that said, killing on the Panto, pretty big news. And also Static Storm kind of fluffed. So not bad here, but now they're jumping onto Corrupted once again. Corrupted pulls out that little cart, tries to go for a little run, but he's just dead as well. Mirror going to buy back into this one. They are wanting to end this game here, Aurora. And they might just be able to. Difference trying to fight up, but Kiyotaka, guess what? He's got a BKB of his own as Toronto Tokyo just taking down everybody. Kiyotaka finally going to die for a second time here. And again, another buyback. They are just not done with them. Grip's gonna fall and GG is called, and that will be the series. Aurora takes it 2-0 over one move. Oh, he's done the cart. Yay.
A much better game.